Hi, how's it going? Tomorrow, the 1st of April, is actually a pretty crucial day. Now, most of you guys might be thinking, 1st of April, April Fools, how is it crucial? Now, I'm not talking about April Fools. For most of the businesses around the world, irrespective whether you are a small and medium enterprise or a large corporate or a conglomerate, it doesn't really matter. Most of the businesses, if you're more into products and retail and so on and so forth, chances are the majority of your cash flows are coming into your business on the 31st of March or the month end likely. Now, if you're a business which is predominantly into retainers, servicing customers and so on and so forth, and your business model is built on that, majority of your cash flows are going to come inside the business on the 1st of April, or when the particular service charge is due, and likely that to be the beginning of the month, because usually we bill the clients in advance. Now, in such a scenario, these two dates, today the 31st of March and the 1st of April tomorrow, are going to be pretty crucial for all the businesses around the world. Take an example, the US real estate market. Tomorrow, the 1st of April, is going to be crucial when 81 billion US dollars are going to become due tomorrow, and God knows how much of it can be actually paid due to the COVID-19 outbreak and the pandemic. Well, if you happen to look at Sri Lanka, the recent statistics would show that about 68% to 73% of the Sri Lankan economy is contributed by the small and medium scale enterprises in Sri Lanka, the SMEs, who are going to be the most impacted businesses from the COVID-19 outbreak. The conglomerates and the corporates might stand, their sales will be impacted, but these guys are the SMEs are the ones who are going to be ideally suffering. So this video is all about talking, if you're an SME owner, or if you happen to work in the management level or as an employee of one of the SMEs, this is probably towards you. In the little experience that I would have, I believe this situation right now calls for 4 major things. Number 1, financial discipline. Well, financial discipline in general is needed irrespective of such a global economic recession or not. But in a situation of this sort, it is highly important that you understand what your priorities are and that you save a portion of your cash flows or whatever that you may have as of right now, the reserves, the retained profits, for the months to come. And if you happen to be the owner of your own business, and if you're a self-employed, ideally, if you do not have financial discipline, this is the moment where you can hand over the finances to another trustworthy and more responsible employee in your case. I mean, sometimes people do not have financial discipline. For an example, at Icon, I do not handle any finances. It had been handled by a very good dear old friend by the name of Usman, you probably would know, because I tend to overspend in certain avenues and distinctions. So it is paramount that if you are the key decision maker, that you do not get yourself involved with the finances, that you leave the financial part to another person, so that you will be always under control and the business will be controlled. And also, this is not quite relevant right now, because right now everybody is dry. You don't get to anywhere go out, so you technically can't spend whatever the money that you may have. This is an advice for you guys when the markets are open again, April 3rd week, 4th week, when the curfew is lifted, and probably whatever the few payments that are stuck right now might get cleared through and you might have them. And then you kind of forget about the whole markets being collapsed and the recession thingy and all that, and you start spending like an idiot. That is not the time for you to spend, because the symptoms, just like the actual coronavirus, the symptoms of this in an economical perspective might take time. The businesses might, your customers, your suppliers, your partners might be might be appearing to be okay within the month of May, but into June, July, they might start suffering. They might be struggling to make ends meet. They might struggle to pay the necessary dues, and then it comes to the halt where they cut off whatever the businesses you may have. So it's important that you collect your dues. It is important that you keep your cash flow running, but it is also important not to spend like idiots whenever that cash flow actually comes in, because the reflection of the actual crisis will move on to about 6 to 12 months or years probably. You never can predict how that is going to work out. So it's important that you keep your reserves, you keep your retained profits untouched so that you can use it when the well hits really dry. So financial discipline is very, very important. Don't spend on unnecessary things. Don't buy unnecessary things. Look at your costs, look at your finances, and be always mindful, a realistic perception on where you are, number one. Number two, you need to understand that you need to protect your stakeholders. See, humans in general, we tend to remember people who used to be with us when things were not doing that good, right? The same applies for businesses in general. When the times are rough, protect your stakeholders, most importantly your employees and your customers, right? From an employee's perspective, protect your employees. Please do not go for any layoffs. I understand as a business owner it's very tough. It's tough to get in the cash. It's tough to meet the payrolls. You may not have the money to fund the payrolls and so on and so forth. Try to see alternative methods of financing the payrolls, because it is difficult times for everybody. It's not just you who is getting affected by this particular video the particular economic recession. Everybody is getting affected, and everybody would die to have a job at this point. So do not lay off your employees. Protect them. Your brand is what it is today because of them. So you have to take care of them when times are rough. As well as your customers, get innovative. Give them solutions that they can boost their businesses up as well. Truly commit to build the customers that you stand with, and when the markets kick back up, they would know who helped them to get where they are. I always believe in relationship marketing rather than transaction marketing. Do not make it a mere transaction. Do not just rip them off. If they need a little bit of credit, and if you can actually allow them to have a little bit of credit, give them that credit. Understand that they are also struggling at this point with the closure of markets and so on and so forth. Protect them so that they may protect you when the markets are back up. Or else, in layman terms, protect them so that you may at least have a customer in the months to come. And then the most important thing is rework on your engagement. Rework on new and innovative ways of how to keep the teams in contact. We're all under curfew, we're all under lockdown, so probably the teams are working from home. So rework and reinvent on new ways on how to keep your employees, your teams working, how to make sure that they are still within the same goal that you have once seen for your brand. It's very, very, very important. And number 4, the most important thing is get innovative. COVID-19 has given you a bunch of free time. So think and be innovative how you as a business can come up with new different product lines and service lines. Specifically, if you guys are in the service industry, think of new services, new options that you can offer for the customer. If you are a premium based brand, right now probably that would not be the best strategy. But do not dilute from the initial brand or the branding strategy that you have gone for. You don't have to bring down your prices. Ideally, you can come up with a new product line which is going to give you or allow you to have the same kind of exposure to the customers, but still the customers will be able to afford you, right? And then there is some cash flow that would be coming into your business from that point, where it might not reflect in extremely high number of profits, but it will at least allow you to break even and sustain. At this point, for all businesses, the most important thing is not to make profits. The most important thing is not to grow. The most important thing is not any of those. The most important thing is for you to float. Because even if you're a startup and you're looking for an investor, chances are that you might not find an investor right now, because there will be not many people with surplus of funds who would be wanting to invest, or even if they want to invest at a global market recession of this sort, they would want a higher return. So chances are you might not find. But if you are able to do what you do, stay afloat, at least break even, get the funds in so that you can get your payrolls and all the utilities sorted. If that is the case, and if you remain standing at the end of this global economic recession, chances are you'll be found to be really, really, really attractive to all investors out there. But speaking of getting innovative, this is also the time where most of these scammers and the people who come up with all of this weird type of bullshit saying making money from home and all of that is going to kind of come through to you, because this is a very attractive season for them. These people are literally at home, their paychecks are going to be cut and all of that. People would be literally lucky to have a job at this point, and somebody advertises on social media saying, we want to make a few bucks, staying at home, now's the time. So people are going to get really, really, really wind up about that. Okay, number one, there were a few guys back in the day calling online entrepreneurs, and they're going to do forex trading and so on and so forth. A good friend of mine by the name of Anjula had a nice conversation about this with me a few minutes back as well. And you see, number one, any type of trading which involves foreign currency and trading and making a profit out of it is called ambiguous profits, and ambiguous profits are against the law of this country, against the anti-money laundering, the AML Act of Central Bank. So number one, it's illegal. Number two, if somebody is claiming, I'm making 6 figures out of this on a month, they're bullshitting. You can't, for you to make a 6-figure return, you would have to invest millions and millions in the initial. There are enough content made on this, so don't be stupid. Don't get caught to people of this sort who are gonna scam you out for whatever the money that is left with you. There is no easy way of making money, but innovative and impressive ways where you put out really good stuff out there, and customers who would feel like that particular service or that particular product can add value, they will buy that, and that's how you make money. Simple as it is. That's the basis of economy, and anything other than that, you're probably doing something illegal, or you're probably participating in something illegal like a Ponzi scheme. So that's about it. But I understand that these are difficult times, and as a SME owner, or if you're a person who is running the show over there, this is the time where you show confidence to your team. This is the time that you show confidence. No, you know what, guys, sit tight, we're going to get through this. So this is the time where you technically walk the talk. I understand that times are tough, but stay tight. This is a tough time for everybody. If you are going through that, remember your competitor is most likely to go through this also, right? Your competitor is going to go through this, your suppliers are going to go through this, your partners are going to go through this. Everybody is in this together. But always remember, if you float, if you keep yourself okay, and you remain to be standing at the end of the tunnel, at the end of this economic recession, chances are that you'll be actually a very attractive entity to the entire economy. Big shout out to Hans, who gave me the initial suggestion to do a small video around this for you guys. Hit me up if there's any questions, or if you feel like there is something that needs to be added on this, and we'll talk about that. Till that, stay safe, make it count.